With only a few days to go, on Monday, October the 18th, we're going to have a new mayor in the city of Calgary, Alberta. I'm John Spade. This is The Egg for Thursday, October the 14th. And as I said, we're going to keep it sort of with a local flavor right through to the election because there's lots to talk about. And man, it keeps getting better. It's so much fun. First thing I want to talk about, though, is the egg I did 2 days ago. A little, I guess, undercover work. I have a deep throat. I was expecting to get more feedback. You know, I can't honestly say what I was expecting. More, I thought there would be some indignation. I thought there would be some people going, "Are you kidding me?" Most of the response, however, was like, and I should have expected this, being the cynic that I am. A lot of people just said, well, hey, you know what? We're not surprised. That's politics. And politicians, by nature, are crooked. That's my catchphrase for the week. So anyways, back to politics. I'm hoping I had a good conversation with my undercover guy inside City Hall. We're trying to set up a date that coincides with our schedules right now. I'm hoping before the 18th that I'm going to sit down with him, if not on camera, at least voice-wise, so he can kind of talk about what he knows. Specifically, a deal that's worth about $50 million clearly indicates impropriety in our City Hall. And I shouldn't say my feeling, my hope is that there's enough information out there that an investigation could be launched and that the right people are brought to justice. Because, you know, this is fraud, and this is money that could have been spent to better purpose, not to make, you know, some fat cats even fatter. So, what else did I want to talk about? Well, I'm sorry, let me grab my composure. I get up this morning, and there's a video on Facebook, courtesy of Jill Belland. And Jill Belland is with a television station here in Calgary, and she does a show called Breakfast Television. Anyways, Barb Higgins, one of the mayoral candidates, was on that show this morning with a rather interesting news reporter, Mike McCourt, who the first time I ever saw this clown, and you know, there's two things to this story here. Mike McCourt, he's like Ted Baxter. That's what he reminds me of, and he kind of has this delivery. And that's the way the news is. The delivery is so over the top. It's so ridiculous, and that's all I can think about. And if you don't know the reference to Ted Baxter, Mary Tyler Moore, YouTube it. The guy was a hoot. He was probably one of the bright spots on that show. Anyways, Mike McCourt, I can't say I have a lot of respect for the guy. I'm not sure that he's all that smart. But, man, he handed Barb Higgins a new one this morning. I almost wanted to feel bad for her, but here's the thing. You're in politics, lady. You know, $1 billion. Think of it as being a CEO of a major corporation that handles billions of dollars. And you couldn't handle your own against this, what I would call a lightweight. You weren't ready for the tough questions, and you broke down. It was obvious, and I'll tell you, anybody that still thinks they want to vote, and, you know, I've been looking at the comments on Facebook, and there's this woman that's going, "Oh, poor Barb, Mike McCourt overstepped his boundaries. He looked like a gorilla looking over his robe." She wanted to cry for her. She still thinks Barb would be an awesome mayor, and, you know, I guess that's human nature. You like what you like, and even if the facts are presented to people, sometimes it's not enough because they're going to go with their heart. And I'm all for a woman leading this city. I'm all for a woman leading this country. But you know what? You got to have some cojones. And if you don't, you're probably not in a position to do so. Anyways, I'm going to post a link up there if you haven't already seen it. Last thing I want to talk about, and this is one, you know, I'm not going to get into this too much because there's a theme to, you know, me whenever concerned Christians come out of the woodwork to talk about issues that they have. And the one thing I'll give them credit for is they really know how to band together. And, you know, Christian groups across the United States are notorious for lobbying government for change, and to their credit. So anyways, I'm going to post links for this to concerned Christians. The letter starts out, Rick needs you. Rick McIver, of course, who is this other mayoral candidate. For those people, I'm explaining for those people that don't live here in the city. So basically, this guy sends out an email. He's good friends with Rick for many years. He's a very high-profile Christian guy. The letter sort of suggests that it's a two-man race between him and Barbie Higgins. And he goes on the attack for Barb, saying that she's an airhead and, she can read off a teleprompter. These are all things that might be true. But what was scary about it was he's appealing to, the Christian right to say, hey, listen, you know what? We can't afford to have this woman in here. She doesn't know what she's doing. We want Rick back in power. We want him to be leading this city because he knows what he's doing. So let's all get together and pray to God and, work some magic so that he gets back in. Rick's going to have my vote is what this guy goes to say. And you need to get out there and vote for him as well. And please exercise your democratic freedom while you can, he says. It's one of those things where I wish religious conviction didn't mix with the politics. Don't use that as your basically platform. What scared me about this letter, and I'm going to post it up so you can read it, is I felt like I was in the States. And this is a guy who I think, because he didn't even mention Nahad Neshi, that, he would probably have some serious issues because of Nahad's faith, which is Muslim. And unfortunately, we live in a real backwards time still. I wouldn't have guessed until I started digging that there are people out there who are so ignorant that they really believe religious faith is a detriment to you to doing a job in this country. And there are people out there, unfortunately, that don't have all the information, who make broad and, just really terrible decisions based on a person's faith. And I urge anybody out there that maybe has ideas that Muslims are a scary nation of people based on what the few have shown us, to rethink that. Because I know a lot of Muslim people who are salt of the earth. They have their belief, what it is. We all have our belief. And at the end of the day, that's all it is. It's not the sum of the person. Because I'd say the majority of people on this earth, for the most part, want to strive towards the same end. Get along, to provide for family, and, to basically make good use of the time while we have it here on this earth. That's my thought for today. Thanks for tuning into The Egg, October 18th. You can get out and vote today if you're not going to have time on the 18th. Take care of business.